Support for Sports Page is provided by First Central Bank, full-service banking from 6 locations in Warrensburg, Holden, Higginsville, and Odessa. More information is available on their Facebook page or at the website firstcentral.net. Member FDIC. By the University Store. The University Store is the official headquarters for Mules and Jennies emblem clothing, gifts, and UCM memorabilia. Books, office supplies, art supplies, and more are available at the University Store, located on the lower floor of the Elliott Union on the UCM campus in Warrensburg. By Parker's Supermarket and Pharmacy, a home-owned and operated store that listens to its customers. Whether it's a hypoallergenic formula or a new exotic vegetable, Parker strives to serve the unique needs of the area. The mission at Parker's is to make grocery shopping a welcoming experience. And promotional support for Sports Page is provided by 1450 Cocoa and 98.5 The Bar. 1450 Cocoa and 98.5 The Bar, the radio home of University of Central Missouri Athletics.
Coming up next on the Central Missouri Sports Page, Mules football coach Jim Svoboda will join us to talk about last week's homecoming contest, and we'll look ahead to Saturday night's televised showdown at Fort Hays State. Basketball practice begins this Saturday, and with the season right around the corner, Jennies basketball coach Dave Slifer stops by the studio this week to preview the season. In our Sports Page Student Athlete Spotlights, we'll get to know Mules senior wide receiver Jamar Howard, and we'll see all the hard work that goes into being a member of the UCM Spirit Squads. So please stay tuned. Your weekly 1-hour look at UCM Mules and Jennies sports is next. Hello again, everybody, and thanks for watching the University of Central Missouri Sports Page. I'm Shawn Jones, and joining me to kick off this week's show is Mules football coach Jim Svoboda. Coach, welcome back to the show. Well, last Saturday we had a great game. We had a great environment. Unfortunately for the Mules, just not a great result.
Yeah, ended up a little short, and take away the fourth quarter. A lot of the fourth quarter, we certainly had our opportunities, and disappointing for the fans and the players. But a lot of positives to take from the game.
Well, you've had a chance now with your staff to review the film, look it over, talk it over with the players. What are some of the positives you saw on film? What are some of the things that need to improve?
Well, we came out in the second half. It was a close ball game in the first half, and came out in the second half and had a really good third quarter, and thought we were in great position. We had the win in the fourth quarter, and we had a few turn of events there. That sort of led to Northwest enabling to be on top and stay on top.
You look at Northwest; they ran the ball 55 times in the game. To their credit, excellent game plan. They averaged 5.6 yards per carry. The combination of Franklin and Simmons, that 1-2 punch, they were able to keep fresh legs out there. I thought that was a huge difference in the game.
Yeah, they were really physical, and they did a good job of alternating those kids. Clearly, they had a game plan, and when they're able to do that, it's it's twofold. It just kind of wears you down, and plus it kept the ball out of our hands. We ran 7 plays in the fourth quarter, so that made it a challenge.
And of course, another big difference in the game: red zone scoring. Both teams scored in the red zone. Both teams did well in the red zone. Unfortunately, a couple times you had to settle for field goals where they scored touchdowns, and there's a difference in the game.
Well, that was really disappointing, and I shoulder the blame on that. We had been the best team in the country in the red zone, actually, in terms of scoring touchdowns. And so, we're still really efficient in terms of scoring, as you mentioned. But, when you're trading touchdowns for field goals, you're going to end up on the short end.
A couple of interceptions, too, in this game, and Northwest entered at +9 in the turnover takeaway ratio. That was great to see, your defense getting a couple takeaways. Again, unfortunately, as you look back, you only scored 3 points off those takeaways.
Right, and you got to take advantage of those things. And maybe some of our youth showed up. You always got to continue to work on poise, and I thought for the most part we handled it, but then towards the end there, kids got a little bit frustrated, and then you sort of see those plays where you end up a little bit short, maybe a ball's a little bit behind, there's a ball on the ground, you don't get those kinds of things, and so we hopefully will learn from that and be stronger because of it.
14,377 in attendance at Walton Stadium, Kennedy Field, the largest on-campus crowd in MIAA history. What an environment, and again, thanks to all those folks who came out to enjoy it. You see them there.
Well, we keep breaking that record. That's definitely a positive, and you know, we've got a great place to play, and hopefully we'll keep giving the fans a reason to come back.
Get off to a great start in this game. You get the ball to start. There's Corwin throwing it out to Dyer for a 47-yard touchdown. Again, perfect way to begin this football game.
Great ball and move by Tommy. Great route and catch by TD.
So the Mules jump on top. Northwest gets the ball back. There you see some good defensive play early, but Northwest, to their credit, comes down, answers, and they score to make it 7-7. So Northwest, a big answer drive early in this contest. Again, 6:11 to go in the first quarter. Here we'll see the Mules get the football, and you'll have a chance to come down and try to get a score to return. There's Cameron Tornade, one of many guys that you put back there returning kicks.
Yeah, we got a lot of good skilled kids back there, and the kickoff return's been solid all year.
Unfortunately, this drive stalls, but look at this kick, rugby style by Matt Jordan from Ozark, downed by Montre Smith at the 1. That's a great special teams play.
A great field position turnover there, and we kind of let them out of the hole, but then the defense stiffened up and actually got the ball back there.
Yeah, here we'll see it again in the 7-7 ball game, first quarter. Headlong dive here by the All-American Marlon Douglas for the interception, giving it right back to you. So a terrific takeaway there. Unfortunately, on the drive, not able to get any points, as a field goal was blocked coming up here in just a couple moments.
Again, those are the differences in some of these tough games like that. So we'll keep battling and improve that area.
So Northwest drives down and scores. Second quarter now they go up 14-7, but then you come back with a nice long 15-play drive that ends up resulting in a score. Really a huge answer at this point in the game.
We've done that a number of times, so I'm staying very optimistic with our players, and you know, there's a lot of good things that we did in the game.
Good elusiveness there. Levance Taylor, the freshman from Raytown, on the catch. You see the scoreboard in the background approaching the midway mark in the second quarter. There's Levance, such a bright future for the freshman.
Yeah, he's a very versatile kid and really has improved his receiving skills. All around good player.
So the field goal there is good to make it 14-10. You needed points and you got them.
Right, and so we're right in there. I mean, just what you'd expect out of two outstanding teams, you know, going back and forth.
Very late here, first half, 1:56 to go. You get the ball back, trying to get a score here. Unfortunately, just ran out of time.
Yeah, just a little short there. There's a great grab, and you know, the kids were in there battling the whole way.
So the third quarter begins, and the defense really stiffened up. 2 straight 3-and-outs to begin the third quarter.
Right, and we chose to kick off into the wind, which was a little bit of a gamble, and we actually had a nice third quarter.
Here you see the Mules on the move. Cameron Tornado down the field, and again the Mules at this point trailing. There's a nice play fake by Tommy Corwin. He sells those fakes so well. Another big catch by Dyer.
That's been a good, you know, the bootlegs have really been strong for us this year.
So the Mules on the move at this point, trying to take the lead. There you see Corwin to Cannon. Good effort stretching out for the touchdown, and all of a sudden the Mules have the lead, 17-14.
Yeah, another bootleg there and great catch by David.
So now Northwest on the next drive. There you see Franklin, who had a great game, but a good job there by the Mules defensive line of staying at home and making the stop.
Yeah, he's got to stay in your gaps with that kid. He's pretty elusive.
How about the freshman, Zach Lineball from Omaha with the interception? We get to see 3 more years of this guy. Great return, setting you up at the 35-yard line. You've got the ball at this point. You've got the lead. Unfortunately, you have to settle here for the field goal. Instead of 24-14, it's 20-14, and Northwest found a way to answer. You get points, just didn't get the touchdown.
Recurring theme there, and you know, that loss of 3 or 4 makes a difference, obviously.
So 6-play, 69-yard drive followed up there by Northwest. They had the lead for good at that point, 21-20. And here's a big turn of events in the game as well, as you get the ball back down 1. Alexis Reed is trying to make a play using his athleticism to get to the outside. Unfortunately, a fumble there. Northwest recovers, but your defense stiffens again. They don't allow him into the end zone. Yeah,
it was a great job by the defense, and you know, but it did take the ball out of our hands there.
So there you see the field goal from Todd Adolph, and at that point it's 24-20. You were moving the ball effectively down the field. The next drive, 3rd and 9, what looked like a Ralph Watson catch was ruled an incompletion. Film would prove otherwise, but nonetheless, nothing you can do about that. Instead of a first down deep inside Northwest territory, down 4, you're forced to punt. Northwest gets it back. They take over 5 minutes off the clock, score to make it 31-20. That's a huge turn of events in the game. Northwest tacks on a late touchdown, and there you see the final numbers as Northwest wins this game 38-20 over the Mules. Taylor Dyer finishes with 5 catches, 143 yards, and a touchdown. David Cannon, 6 grabs and a TD. Patrick Lewis has 14 tackles to lead the defense. Mules fall to 4-2 overall, 3-2 in the MIAA. They're ranked 20th this week in the D2Football.com poll. How has your team responded? I know they were looking so forward to that game of such a great environment. It's tough when you come up on the losing end of one of those. Have you seen what you've wanted to see out of your team this week?
I have, and you know, it would be one thing if you weren't right in there, and I think that the kids know that you know what it came down to was a few plays, and we know that if we can get over that hump, that you know we're going to be as good as anybody that's out there. So it's more of a realistic look. You can beat yourself up all you want; that doesn't do any good. So we try to stay in the positives and stay proactive and get better at what we need to get better at.
Well, let's take a look at the MIAA standings. Really, there's become two groups in the MIAA standings at this point. There's the top 5 and the bottom 5. You're in that top 5. You see that you're 2 games out of first right now, but I guess in one way the good news for your team is that 2 of the teams ahead of you, Pitt State and Washburn, still on your schedule.
We still got a lot in front of us, and you know, we're kind of rededicated ourselves. We got 5 games left here, and as you mentioned, we got a couple of those teams that are ahead of us left to play, and so we're just going to take Fort Hays next and go from there.
It's a little bit of a different feeling in the Jim Svoboda era. I'm glad it's a different feeling in year 2. You guys really didn't experience any in-season adversity last year in terms of losses. You know, you lost the Illinois State game, but that was a FCS contest. The last regular season loss came in the MIAA championship game last week of the season, then rolled through the playoffs all the way to the quarterfinals. So I know it's a little bit different, not something you want to get used to, but different for you, different for your players to have to learn how to bounce back in the middle of the season.
Well, we're growing as a team. And there's no question about that. And the reality is that if you can somehow survive in the top 2 or 3 in this league, you're probably going to get a chance at postseason and maybe more. So we're staying positive. We're right in there. There's no question that you know, a few things here or there, and that could have been a different game. We understand that. The
psyche and the chemistry of a team can often be, you know, thrown off balance by a loss. But I've heard your guys talk so often on the record and off the record about how well this team gets along. You know, even referencing that, you know, this team, last year's team, they're the best groups that these guys have been a part of in terms of enjoying each other. And I've got to think that during tougher times, that pays off.
Well, you find out, that's for sure. You know, that's the school of hard knocks right there. But you know, what I mentioned to the players is that I'll be watching very closely to see how they react, because you know, anybody can be up and positive and all that when you're winning, and you know, when it's not going so well, then that's really when your character's tested. So I expect them to do well.
Well, this Saturday night you head on the road to take on Fort Hays State. It's been a while since we've been on the road, so that's I guess somewhat of a new routine for your team, because it's been a month since we've done it.
Well, we better get used to it, because the last 4 out of 5 are on the road, and it's a long trip out there. You know, a lot is made out of that. You know, we're going to kind of make it a positive. It's a chance for our players to get together and have a nice trip, and you know, if you make it a big deal, night game a long ways away, then it's a big deal. I don't think it will be.
Well, Fort Hays State's always a tough place to play. You see 6 o'clock kick. The last 2 times I've been to Hays with the Mules, once in your program, both times it resulted in a 3-point narrow victory. Last year it was a 29-yard field goal by Aaron Jamison with 28 seconds left to go. Clearly Fort Hays State, a team that has some talent, and they're playing at home under a first-year head coach in Chris Brown. They're still trying to bring it all together. Honestly, I hope they don't bring it all together against us, because I think they're a very capable team.
They have a lot of things going for them, and one of them is just the energy of a new staff, new program, and they have no reason to get down. I mean, it's not like, you know, it's all new. So they're trying to build that thing, and so it's a little different story when you've been way up and you start losing a few games. You know, they've lost some tough games in there. They've won a couple, and so they're not going to be a team that's going to, you know, really be down on themselves, because they're in that process right now. And Coach Brown's a fiery guy, and you watch them on film, they're really fundamentally sound. You know, we've had an opportunity to see them a few times, and they do a lot of things well. They got a nice ground attack and very sound on defense.
They've got a nice ground attack, as you mentioned. The Smiths, one averages almost 100 yards a game, one averages almost 70 yards a game on the ground. They've got 2 quarterbacks, McAaron, a guy that throws it, Shepard, a guy that runs it. I have a feeling we're going to see a steady dose of the run game until we prove to Hays that we have to force them to throw the football.
Absolutely. I mean, that's their bread and butter, and it's kind of another 1-2 punch with the running backs this week. And I'm really confident that our players and our defensive coaches are have formulated a good game plan, and they're not satisfied with what transpired. But you got to give a lot of credit to Northwest. They're a pretty physical club.
I think it's interesting when we get to this time of the year, Jim, you know all the weaknesses of Fort Hays State on film, what you've seen. Don't want you to show your hand, but you know them. Just like Chris Brown knows our weaknesses. Every team's got their areas of strength, the areas where they're a little bit deficient. So it's all about picking at those weaknesses and your team trying to outperform that other team. It just gets interesting once you guys, and I think all of you are great coaches in this league, get a bunch of film to dissect.
Right, you get them all, and that's maybe a lot of the fans don't realize that. But back in the old days, you would be lucky to get one film, or maybe you had to scout, and now it's all done over the internet, and you get every film that the team has previously played, and it's all put into the computer in terms of breakdowns and all those kinds of things. So whatever tendencies are out there, you get a first-hand knowledge of that.
What are some of the things you've stressed with your football team this week in practice?
Well, have a plan, first of all. I mean, it's easy to brood and point fingers and say this or that, and it's like everybody on the team, the coaches, everybody can improve something with their game, and that's what you need to focus on. Be a man about it, buck up. I mean, it doesn't do any good to feel sorry for yourself or point fingers, and stay proactive. Well,
let's take a look at the MIAA schedule for this week. Again, the Mules and Fort Hays State Tigers at 6 o'clock on Saturday night in Hays. Other games, afternoon contests, Missouri Western at Emporia State on Saturday at 1, Truman's at Missouri Southern at 1, Lincoln's at 7th-ranked Pitt State at 2, a couple of non-conference games. Eastern New Mexico is at 8th-ranked Northwest Missouri, Central Oklahoma, a future MIAA member, at 5th-ranked Washburn at 1 o'clock. And we are once again the MIAA TV network game of the week, so the game will be shown in 1.5 million households live on Saturday night at 6 o'clock, including channel KSMO TV 62 out of Kansas City. And I encourage everybody to go to the MIAA.com for a full list of affiliates. It'll be replayed, by the way, Sunday at 4 here on KMOS TV, Missouri PBS, into another 800,000 households. So, there may only be 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 people at the game in Hays, but there's a potential 2 million people watching Central Missouri football and listening to the University of Central Missouri's brand be repeated over and over.
Well, it's certainly nice to be on TV, but all those Warrensburg people and Central folks come on over to the game, and then they can watch the replay later.
There you go. That's what I'm going to do. We'll be there, and of course we'll have the broadcast for you as well, beginning at 4:40 on the UCM Sports Radio Network on Saturday night on Coco and the Bar. Join you at kickoff on 90.9 The Bridge. But Coach Svoboda's right. Join the team out in Hays. Nice leisurely 5.5-hour drive from Warrensburg. You can figure from there, and then of course you can watch the replay Sunday at 4 on KMOS TV. Coach Svoboda, as always, thanks for the visit.
Shawn.
We'll talk to you next week. Coming up next on Sports Page, we'll get to know a member of the Mules receiving corps currently ranked amongst the nation's best Division II wide receivers. That's next here on KMOS TV.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
We're getting them ready.
I'm ready to read.
Ready to try.
I'm ready. Estoy listo.
Ready for life.
I'm ready to speak.
It's what we do every day.
I'm ready to dream.
With the books we provide, the workshops we sponsor. At KMOS TV 6, we're committed to making sure every child in Central Missouri is
ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to learn.
I choose to finish what I start.
I choose to accomplish my goals.
I choose red to make my family proud.
I choose red because I can take classes that work around my schedule.
I choose red to advance my career.
The University of Central Missouri Summit Center in Lee Summit has academic programs designed to help you finish your degree, advance your career, and discover your potential. Learn more at choosered.ucmo.edu.
And welcome back to Sports Page here on the Central Missouri Sports Television Network. In this segment, we shine the student-athlete spotlight on Mules senior wide receiver Jamar Howard.
I've been playing football since my senior year of high school. I've been a basketball player like my whole life, so football was something new. I mean, I fell in love with it when I played it, so that's basically it. That's when I started my senior year of high school. Well, I had a lot of options like Abilene Christian. I was kind of talking to them, Tarleton State. But when I talked to Coach Lambo here, I just fell in love with the school, the coaches. I had a good relationship with them, so that just basically gave me the respect and the trust to come here. And I seen what Jamar was doing last year, and I knew I can put up the numbers like he was, so I decided to come here. Coach Svoboda is he's like another father figure. Him and Coach Lambo, they own me. Anything I do wrong, they own me, making sure I'm doing everything right. I know if I need anything, I can just call them, you know what I'm saying? They got my back on the field, you know what I'm saying? They just there all times, and I respect them for that. Oh, they a player coach team, you know what I'm saying? Like if they see something on the field, and if you see something on the field and they don't see it and you tell them, they'll look at it and see if it's something that they can run. And I mean, they care about their players a lot. That's the thing I like about them. Then a lot of coaches out there they care about their players. Like they really just really care about their players. The rest of the team, we like brothers, you know what I'm saying? I'm with the offense most of the time, so the defensive players I don't really see that much, but I mean, we all close. We all Mule brothers. That's what we say. Mule brothers. We all close. So, yeah. I feel like I can just go get the ball anytime it's in the air. I mean, I got good speed, so I'm 6'4", so I go against a lot of corners that's smaller than me. So, I mean, I feel like I can do everything. I know stuff I work on, but I feel like I can do about everything. The main thing with me is probably like blocking and running crispy routes, and that's basically it for real. Everything else I feel like I had. I guess just staying humble, being patient. I know the ball gonna come to me, so I just gotta be patient. We got a lot of playmakers, so I know Tommy gotta spread the ball around and get it to everybody else, but I know when my number's called, I gotta go get the ball no matter what. So I just wanna do anything to help the team to win. I really don't care about what I do because I know I'm gonna get mine regardless, but I just wanna help the team win. I listen to slow music before every game just to relax myself. I don't really listen to like a lot of rap stuff. I listen like slow music just to relax my mind and just get me focused on the game. I walk to the game all the time. Everybody always asks me for a ride on. I just like to just be in my own zone and just be by myself. Playing fast, just making defenses tired, making the other offensive team tired, turnovers, you know what I'm saying, touchdowns. We just a fast team, fast-paced team. Last year, I wasn't playing football at all. I was trying to find out what I was going to. I had to sit out the whole year, so just being here and being a part of the team and being part of this history, yeah, I just want to be on the field with the Mules, that's it. I mean, I really like the fans here. Oh yeah, they help me out a lot, you know what I'm saying? Practice, you going to practice to play hard, so with them, you know you got to play. So they help us out a lot. They root for us a lot. I really like the fans here. Me playing receiver in practice, we run so much, we be so tired. Sometimes you don't want to feel like doing like this and that. You just want to go home and go to sleep. But I mean, you got to get the work done. You got to get the stuff done. So it ain't too bad after you do it for a long time. It ain't too bad. I plan on trying to be a probation officer, just trying to, you know what I'm saying, just help people in the world who not doing that so good, like in trouble all the time. I just want to help and change lives. I just go out there and play, you know what I'm saying? I just know I got to catch the ball, so when it's up in the air, I gotta go get it. No matter what coverage they playing, no matter what they own, you know what I'm saying? I just go and just play.
Howard's 43 catches ranked 7th in Division II, and his 130 receiving yards per game ranked 4th in the nation. Back on September 17th at Emporia State, he broke a 42-year-old school record with 230 receiving yards against the Hornets. He has been a welcome addition to the 2011 Mules. Coming up next on Sports Page, we'll take a look at how all the Mules and Jennies fall sports teams performed this past week, and we'll look ahead to basketball season as we talk Jennies Hoops with head coach Dave Slifer. All of that's on the way when Sports Page continues right after this.
I choose to accomplish my goals.
I choose to follow through, to finish my degree.
I choose a university that's convenient and close to home.
I choose Red to transfer my credit hours without any hassles.
I choose Red to graduate on time.
The University of Central Missouri Summit Center in Lee Summit has academic programs designed to help you finish your degree and discover your potential. Learn more at choosered.ucmo.edu.
Imagine America's largest stage, dark. Or the nation's biggest schoolhouse, empty. Or the greatest library of documentary programming, closed forever. It could happen if funding for PBS is eliminated. Find out more about the threat to PBS at 170millionamericans.org. Because America needs PBS, and PBS needs you.
Load up your golf clubs, grab your spikes, and head out to the first tee. As our way of saying thank you for your financial contribution at the $50 level or higher, KMOS will send you a member card. In addition to great discounts at restaurants, attractions, and bed and breakfast all across Missouri, the member card also offers 2-for-1 greens fees at several Missouri golf courses. Improve your swing while taking in beautiful lake vistas. Or experience the Rumble at America's only golf course above an active mine. Take your game to the next level by playing around on us. Call 1-800-753-3436 and support KMOS TV, Missouri PBS. Thank you.
You're watching KMOS Channel 6.1, Sedalia, Warrensburg.
Thanks for watching Sports Page here on the Central Missouri Sports Television Network. Coming up next, we'll preview the upcoming basketball season with Jennies head coach Dave Slifer. But first, let's look back at how the Mules and Jennies performed this past week. And we start with the Jennies soccer team. They won their 27th straight MIAA match on Sunday with a 1-0 win at Emporia State. All-American Alyssa Rhodes scored the lone UCM goal in the 85th minute. The Gens have allowed 1 goal the last 11 matches, and the Jennies are now 11-1 overall, 4-0 in the MIAA. Mules Cross Country brought home the title from the Gary Stoner Invitational at Central Methodist on Saturday in Fayette, while the Jennies finished second. The Mules won the title with 29 points. They were way ahead of second place Southwest Baptist, while the Jennies finished second with 59 points. Senior Dalton Moberly won the men's race and was named the MIAA Runner of the Week. Junior Casey Hessian won the individual title on the women's side. The Jennies volleyball squad had a successful homecoming weekend, defeating Missouri Western 3-0 on Friday night. Allie Huffman led the way with 19 kills. On Saturday night, the Gens hosted and defeated Division I Nebraska Omaha 3-zip. Julia Bates had 38 assists. Allie Huffman was named the MIAA Hitter of the Week for the second consecutive week, and Julia Bates was named the MIAA Setter of the Week after averaging almost 12 assists per set last week. On Wednesday night, the Gens picked up a 3-0 win at Northwest Missouri. Huffman had 12 kills, 10 digs. It was the 12th straight shutout win for the Gens, tying the 1982 team for the school record in that category. The Jennies are now 17-3 overall. They are 7-0 in the MIAA. Basketball season is right around the corner with NCAA teams officially beginning practice on Saturday. Joining us now to preview the upcoming season is Jennies basketball coach Dave Slifer. Coach Slifer, welcome back.
Good to be back, Jonesy.
Well, let's talk about this 2011-2012 team. You've got 7 returners, 8 newcomers, so a nice blend of experience and a new talent coming in.
We do have a great bunch of returnees. We've got some kids that have worked extremely hard this spring and summer. I think they're going to be in the best shape they've ever been in. And we do like our newcomers we've got coming in. So we've got a good mix going.
What was the number one thing you and Coach Keister, your assistant, looked for this offseason on the recruiting trail?
We had to get deeper and bigger. I mean, we just weren't big enough to compete at the top of the league. You've got to have, the 6'2", 6'3" centers that are able to every night get you 8 or 10 rebounds. You got to be able to score inside a little bit. In the past couple of years, Becca Roberts did a great job for us, but we'd like to kind of even get better than that. So hopefully we have done that.
What type of team, with those 15 players, those returners, those newcomers, what type of team do you want to put out on the floor this year?
Well, in the last couple of years, I thought we'd gotten not near as aggressive as we've been earlier. And that means we're going to press more, we're going to run more, we're going to do everything we can to make sure that we wear some other teams out. We feel like we're deeper this year, and we're in great shape. And I'd like to tip my cap to Coach Edinger, who is the strength coach for the football team. He's helped out with our basketball squad. Like what he's doing, I think that we're stronger. And then the big thing is injuries. I mean, we just don't have the nagging injuries that we've had in the past years.
Sometimes for a coach who's been a small college coach your entire career, it's hard to give that element up. But I know ever since you've given up the strength and conditioning, let Coach E do it. As you said, you feel really good about the results.
We do. He's professional. He's probably had to tamper just a little bit of the way that he deals with football players as compared to women's basketball players. But our kids, after the first couple of days, really responded and did well with it. So we're excited about that and feel like that not only the returnees who had a chance to get to meet him in the spring, but the new kids in the fall have made some progress.
Well, let's talk about something else new. This is the first year the NCAA has allowed full squad workouts 2 times a week in the off season with the blend, kind of half your team new, half your team returners. How important has that extra time been?
We've enjoyed it. Now, we've talked to other coaches around the country, and most of us have gone to kind of a 3 40-minute practices and given up a lot of our individual work, which probably isn't the best thing to do. So when we start practice Saturday, we're going to have a lot of individual work at practice, and so we'll break them down into post perimeter. And instead of going 15 minutes a day, it'll probably be more like a half hour, 45 minutes, where we get a lot of footwork, shooting, work defensively, just so we can get some of those things ironed out that we probably had ironed out earlier.
Yeah, probably just too tempting when the NCAA allows you to have that whole team together after years of only being able to have 3 or 4 student athletes to work out at a time in the gym. Probably too tempting to give that up, and you had to take advantage of it.
We did, and Bob Knight always talks about the whole method of teaching, where you kind of teach the whole group, then you break it down into parts, and you put it back together, and that's kind of our theory that we're doing right now. Is we've had about 6 weeks where we've kind of worked with the whole group. We'll break it down in practice to parts, and then rebuild them back together as a team here in the next few weeks. But it's going to be one of the most interesting parts is for 40 minutes you practice, you can be pretty intense for pretty long and not give any breaks. Now we're going to go those 2.5 hour practices, and the coaches and players are both going to have to make that adjustment.
Well, let's take a look at some footage from one of these full squad workouts from earlier this week at Garrison Gym on the UCM campus. Newly refurbished floors over there. Everything's brand new. A much nicer workout facility for you.
Well, it's very interesting to go over there because you can't believe it's the same gym as we've been in the past. You'll notice everything's a year older. I've got glasses on my head now. I can't read my practice notes without the glasses. That's what happens when you have been around long enough.
Well, let's talk about this team, some of the impact returners. There's Kirsten Orton at the top of the key, out to Erin Redmond, a couple of young ladies. I know you're really happy with their work in the offseason and what they bring back to the team this year.
Well, I think Jenny fans will be excited. Kirsten has gotten bigger, stronger, lost some body fat. Erin Redmond has gotten so much stronger and in such better shape. One of the problems she had last year is she could go hard for a couple minutes but then get very, very fatigued. So we're excited about that. And I tell you what, Saretha Brown just made the layup there. That's one that struggled early and or last year struggled figuring out how to play in the 4-year game. And this year I think she'll be a lot different.
And Nicole Cadell, another returner. We'll see her in some of these highlights in a little bit. But she was your leading returning scorer. There's Nicole with the ball, 12.7.6 rebounds a game. I don't know if you want those numbers to improve, but if she can get those numbers in an improved team, that would be really good.
Well, if she's one of about 10 or 11 that we play instead of one of 7, and she still gets those numbers, we'll be very, very excited. And she's doing well. She had a little injury bug early, but now she's fine. Taylor Hansen is another one that has really improved and gotten her body in shape. She spent all last year with a leg injury that just made her struggle a little bit guarding people. This year, she's much more comfortable out there and expecting big things out of Taylor.
And we've seen some shots of Renee Shippey, too, from center view. Just a veteran in the team. She's kind of one of those interchangeable parts, can do a lot of things for you off the bench, give you energy, come in, hit a shot. She's a veteran of your program, and I know you feel like you'll take all those and use their experience, especially when we get into the rigors of MIAA play.
Well, one of the things as coaches that we do is give all our players a little sheet and just kind of rate everybody, 1 through 14. Alyssa Rhodes is still in soccer, so she's our 15th player. But and Renee's name always comes up 1 or 2 as one of the harder workers on the team, and she's just had a really good spring and summer herself. We're trying to get her. I mean, she's shooting the ball very well from 3, and we're just trying to expand her game so she can, when a team start playing her at the 3-point line, that she's able to put the ball on the floor and make some plays off the dribble.
Well, you've also got 8 newcomers on this team, including some young ladies you hope will get Jennies basketball back to a MIAA championship level.
Well, as you've seen in some of the earlier clips, Shaquanda Wiggins is a young lady from Chicago. Her nickname is Shaq, and she is 6'2". She is athletic as all heck, and she is very raw. But she is got some very good upside for us.
Well, you like 6'2" and raw because you can teach the raw, you can't teach the 6'2".
Yes, you can't. And we needed, somebody that is athletic and bigger. And I think everybody's going to enjoy watching her play. Right now, practice-wise, you don't know which foot she's going to go off of in a layup, but we do know she's going to go in there hard. And somebody's going to have to really take a charge if they're going to stop that.
And we've seen, a couple of the elite teams in the league or teams that have had great seasons have that impact post, whether it be Northwest or Washburn or Emporia. So it's going to be nice to hopefully have one of those on our side this year.
Sure is. And then you take Nicole Caudell. I mean, somebody's going to have to guard her. And if you put your best interior defender on Shaquanda, then Nicole's going to go inside and just tear you up. So we've got some options now that we haven't had in the past that are very, very exciting for us.
How about freshman point guard Brielle Watley from Indiana, from Fort Wayne, so a great basketball area. I know you're very high on her and expect her to step right in and play right away.
Well, they do play a little bit of basketball in Indiana, and Coach Keister saw her during the summer, fell in love with her and just loved her work ethic. She's a lefty guard that plays hard, and she does not back down from Erin Redmond at all. And I think everybody's going to see that Erin's as quick as anybody in the league, and she has to guard that every day in open gyms or practice, so that is tremendous for her. So we expect her to push Erin, get a lot of time herself at point, and we'll play both of them together at times also.
I've mentioned a couple of the newcomers. Any other newcomers you expect to step in and play a vital role right away?
Well, we've got Danielle Bounds, who is from Oklahoma originally. She went out to Robert Morris in Pittsburgh and came back to us. She's got 3 years left. She is an off guard that can shoot it. She can put the ball on the floor. Very quiet kid who is kind of the silent assassin. There's sometimes during our workouts that she just takes over and nobody can stop her. And what we're trying to do is make her more consistent to where every day she's that way.
5 freshmen, too, you signed from really all over the Midwest, so that's exciting, and hopefully the next class of very solid Jennies contributors.
Well, we think so, and we'd love to get in a position where we could redshirt most of them. Now, Brielle Watley's going to have to play this year because she will be the backup point, if not the point. But the other kids are probably a ways away, although Danny Berry is playing very, very well, and she's making the adjustment from being an inside player in high school to a swing 4-type player in the college game, and I'd love to be able to get her another year. I don't know if we will or not, but I'd love to be able to get her, just not play her this year and get another year.
I know every coach is excited right before the beginning of practice. If you're not, you're in big trouble, but I sense that you feel really good about this group, that, you know, it's a long season, a lot of things can happen, but you got a chance to make some noise with this team.
No, we do. We're deep. I don't know who's going to play right now or how many minutes. I do know that you're going to see a different Jenny team, one that is very, very aggressive. I'm tired of playing conservative. We are going to get aggressive, and we're going to. Our job is to demoralize teams and make them tired, and that's what we're going to do.
Well, Friday night, October 21st, will be folks' first chance to get a look at the Jennies and the Mules with Meet the Mules and Jennies basketball team, 6 o'clock at the Multi. Admissions free. We're going to introduce the teams to the crowd. We're going to let you scrimmage for a half. We're going to sign some autographs, free admission. We are trying to help the ECHO program out that night, the early childhood hunger operation for preschoolers on the weekends when they don't have school food. Bring a backpack with non-perishable items in it, and you get a free cap courtesy of UCM Athletics. The ECHO program is also going to be selling T-shirts, accepting donations, but a chance to get some free autographs, chance to win some prizes. Should be a lot of fun, and hopefully a good chance for your team to get out, and even though it's not a full game, just get out under the lights with the PA going and the music and the pep band and the cheerleaders and the kickers, and get a little feel before they head into real competition.
Well, we're excited about it. We'll have had a few practices underneath our belts. We'll have an idea of what we got going. Hopefully we'll divide them up into 2 pretty good teams and have a pretty good scrimmage and see just exactly kind of, introduce our new kids to the fans, but also just show us the returnees, just what kind of progress they've made.
November 14th, Evangel comes in here. That's the opening game of the year. I know there's so much that has to get accomplished between Saturday when you start practice and the 14th. What are the biggest things you're looking to get accomplished with your team in the preseason?
Work ethic. That's all we've talked about is work ethic. We need to be strong enough that whenever things are not going well, we just grind our way through it. And my better teams throughout my career have always been that type of team where they just grind. Pretty soon you wear them down, and we just never say die. And that's something that, to be quite honest, Jonesy, we weren't very good at last year. This year we have worked very hard with that, and I think that you'll see a different group, a different type of attitude out there this year.
Well, it's going to be a fun season. Glad to have you on for the preview. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you a whole bunch during the year.
Thanks, Jonesy.
In just a moment on Sports Page, we'll spotlight the UCM Spirit Squads. That's coming up next here on KMOS TV.
I choose to finish what I start.
I choose to accomplish my goals.
I choose red to make my family proud.
I choose red because I can take classes that work around my schedule.
I choose red to advance my career.
The University of Central Missouri Summit Center in Lee Summit is a convenient location for finishing your degree. Transfer your credits to UCM and finish what you've started. Learn more at ucmo.edu/GoSummit.
Hi, I'm Ken Burns. My films explore uniquely American stories about the extraordinary people and times that make up our history. I can't imagine telling my stories anywhere but on PBS, the one place that invites all Americans from every walk of life to discover new places, new ideas, and the bigger world around us. And I'm grateful for the role you play. Supporting your local station ensures that together we can continue to share these stories. Thank you.
Create. It inspires me. I love cooking with Ming.
Oh, no. Jacques Pepin is the man.
I knew how to fix a furnace, but now I know the hot spots of Rio.
I've turned shacks into castles, and now I can fill them with antiques.
And I caught you watching that quilting show.
And I'm getting pretty good.
Hi, I'm Kevin O'Connor.
And I'm Tom Silva.
And
we love to watch Create. It inspires us.
To create with you.
The big thing with the KMOS Ready to Learn program isn't just, come watch our shows, but then they want you to turn it off and read a book. My source for quality children's education is KMOS TV.
Stay tuned to KMOS Channel 6.1, Sedalia, Warrensburg.
As far as games go, we perform at every single football game and every single basketball game that's home. So that means every Saturday we do a football game, and if they go to playoffs, we also travel with them to the playoff championship games. And basketball, we do every single game that's home, like I said, and then we also travel with them for the playoff games. And we do all Mules and Jennies basketball games. We have 17 girls on our team. We just did a fall tryout and we added 3 more, but we have 17 total this year. We have 4 seniors, 8 freshmen, 4 sophomores, 2 juniors. We practice every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. We do 3:30 to 6 on Tuesday and Thursday, and then we do 5:30 to 9 on Sundays. And that pretty much concludes our practice times. Right now we're working a lot on our nationals routines. We just started cleaning them up because we want to go to nationals in January, so we're trying to qualify right now. So we're pretty much drilling those routines over and over and over. But first we stretch at practice, then we run the routines, and then we drill them really hard. All the girls get along really well. We do a lot of team work together, so we're used to being together. Although we are girls and we all have our battles every now and then, we get along really well in general. So I would say our team camaraderie is pretty good. Juggling Mulekickers in with our daily life gets pretty difficult. We're all focused on our academics, so we try to keep up with school, and then we have Mulekickers. A lot of the kickers have jobs outside of that, so trying to balance 3 things in one gets pretty hard, and also relationships and things like that get pretty difficult. We focus a lot on our endurance as far as we do halftime routines, so being able to get through those halftime routines without dying at the end, endurance is probably our biggest issue. We also focus a lot on, we are the spirit squad, so you need to smile and be happy and peppy and set a good example for anyone who's looking up to us.
We just, for the first time in the history of UCM, we went to a cheerleading camp, and it was sponsored by UCA. It was up in Wisconsin, and it was such an amazing experience. We really got our name out there. Because I know in the next couple of years Coach Woodson's wanting to compete at nationals, which is really big for college cheerleading. So up in Wisconsin we competed with our fight song and won small awards with that, and it was really cool to be a part of or see a lot of the other Division I cheerleading squads like Kentucky, KU, Michigan State that are really well known for cheerleading. So it was really cool to be a part of that with them. My typical day looks like we start with conditioning, team conditioning. We'll run, do some stretching, and just small conditioning activities with that. And then we start with drills. We have co-ed drills, tumbling drills, all girl stunting drills, just to build the technique and skills. And then we'll have a pyramid section, which our fans love our pyramids, and so we'll spend a great amount of time on that, putting together a variety of stuff. And then we'll have free stunting, which is a great time for us to work on our individual goals and things that we want to work towards. Well, we have 28 people total. We have 10 guys and 18 girls, which is the biggest squad we've had in I don't even know how long at Central, so it's pretty awesome. With Central and our squad, the girls that I know Coach Woodson likes to put on the squad are girls that are very versatile, that can base, that can top, that can tumble. So you need to have a wide range of skills. Unlike high school, you'll see a lot of the distinct jobs, but here at Central, all of our girls, we can do everything. So it's really important that you're very versatile. Our guys, of course, they're ground bound. Do not go in the air. The relationships with our guys and girls, we're all very close on the team. Every single practice we break with a 1-2-3 family. We really emphasize that, not just at practice, but overall we're very close. We get along. There's none of the typical drama that you would see on movies. Movies give cheerleaders such bad names, but we really are a family. We support each other. We get positive criticism to each other, and we're all very, very close. Very close. Best part, just being involved. Everybody knows who you are. They, even the old people that you see up in the stands, they almost know you by name, and it's really good to have the support and to support our peers at the school, our football team, basketball, track. It's really good to support the other athletic teams and be a part of their success and help cheer them on, just because at Central we are a big family, like I said, within our own squad, but I'm a part of the SAC committee, which is the student athletic committee, and we really emphasize supporting each other as a department as a whole. Football season, this year our game schedule was really small. We only had 5 home games, so we only have 1 more left. which usually have a couple more than that, but this year is real small. But when it comes to basketball season, we cheer 2 to 3 times a week. We cheer both boys and girls, and at their doubleheaders we'll stay both times.
The UCM Cheerleaders and Mulekickers are not only award-winning groups in competition, they also greatly add to the entertaining game environment at UCM basketball and football games. The next time you're at a game, think about all the hard work that goes into those terrific performances from the UCM Spirit Squads. In just a moment, we'll tell you where all the Mules and Jennies are competing this weekend as Sports Page rolls on after this timeout.
I think that Frontline is the single best television series on television today, and when I watch Frontline, I feel proud that I am not only an American, but that I've been involved all of my professional life with PBS. Hi, my name is Ken Burns, and PBS is my source for Frontline, the best show on television.
KMOS TV is a nonprofit organization owned and operated by the University of Central Missouri. The station relies upon many people, businesses, and organizations in order to provide programming services to thousands of people throughout Central Missouri. We can't do it alone. We need people to contribute as members, as corporate partners, and through major gifts and bequests, which can be arranged through a will. Public broadcasting faces many challenges in the years ahead as it competes in an increasingly cluttered media marketplace. But public television strives to be different. If this difference has been important to you, then I hope you'll consider a significant contribution to KMOS TV through a major gift or bequest to keep KMOS TV and the entire public broadcasting system going strong. You can call KMOS TV to get more information on how you can make a contribution that will change lives for the better for decades to come.
KMOS TV is my source for entertainment. I thoroughly enjoy all of the musical entertainment that KMOS provides for Central Missouri.
For one final time this week, welcome back to the UCM Sports Page. It's just about time to wrap up the show, but first, let's run down our upcoming schedule of events so you know where to follow the Mules and Jennies. And we start with the Mules football team. The 20th ranked Mules travel to Hays, Kansas this weekend to take on the Fort Hays State Tigers. Kickoff set for 6 Saturday night from Hays. The game will be broadcast on the MIAA TV network. Go to the MIAA.com for a full list of stations carrying the game. KMOS TV will rebroadcast the game at 4 o'clock on Sunday. You can also listen on the UCM Sports Network. Our broadcast coverage begins at 4:40 p.m. on Saturday on 1450 Cocoa, 98.5 The Bar, and you can listen for free on the internet at warrensburgradio.com. We'll join you at kickoff on 90.9 The Bridge. In other MIAA games this week, Missouri Western's at Emporia State, Truman's at Missouri Southern, Lincoln is at Pitt State. Non-conference action this Saturday includes Eastern New Mexico traveling to Northwest Missouri and Central Oklahoma headed to Washburn. The 7th-ranked Jennies volleyball team will host Emporia State in a big match at the Multi next Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. The 12th-ranked Jennies soccer team, they'll be in St. Charles on Sunday to face Lindenwood. That's a 1 o'clock match. The UCM cross-country teams are off this weekend as they prepare for the MIAA Championships coming up October 22nd in Joplin. The 9th-ranked Mules golf team closes out the fall portion of their schedule next Monday and Tuesday at Jeff City Country Club, taking part in the South Central Regional Invitational. The UCM basketball teams will host Meet the Mules and Jennies Friday, October 21st at 6 p.m. at the UCM Multipurpose Building. Admission is free. Each team will scrimmage for a half. Prizes will be given away, and each team will sign autographs. Donations will also be accepted for the early childhood hunger operation that provides food to preschoolers in the Warrensburg area on weekends when they aren't in school. Anyone who brings a backpack filled with non-perishable items will receive a cap courtesy of UCM Athletics. The Echo Group will also be selling t-shirts for $10 each. And it's time now for our weekly Sports Page trivia question. Each week we give you a chance to win a prize from UCM Athletics. Last week, we asked you, what United States Service Academy did Jennies volleyball coach Flip Piontek graduate from? The correct answer was the United States Air Force Academy. John emailed us first, so he wins a t-shirt. This week, our question is, what schools are set to join the MIAA next year? If you know the answer, you want a chance to win a prize, send the correct answer to SportsPage Trivia, Wood 11 in Warrensburg at 64093, or it'll get here a whole lot faster if you email it to sportspage@kmos.org. And with that, we conclude this edition of the Central Missouri Sports Page. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we invite you to tune in again next Thursday night at 7 and Saturday evening at 5 to keep up with the UCM Mules and Jennies. Also, visit our website, ucmo.edu/athletics. Follow us on Facebook at UCM Athletics, or follow us on Twitter at UCM Mules. Until next time, for our entire crew, this is Shawn Jones saying thanks for watching Sports Page right here on KMOS TV, Missouri PBS. For Sports Page is provided by Parker's Supermarket and Pharmacy in Warrensburg. Parker's works hard to supply grocery staples and spices to cook Italian, Mexican, Chinese, Indian, and Thai cuisine. The mission at Parker's is to make grocery shopping a welcoming experience for everyone. By First Central Bank, full-service banking from 6 locations in Warrensburg, Holden, Higginsville, and Odessa. More information is available on their Facebook page or at the website firstcentral.net. Member FDIC. And by Union Station, Crossroads to Technology, a one-stop shopping source for technology needs. Campus-compatible computers, software for Mac and PCs, and much more. Located on campus, on the lower floor of the Elliott Union in Warrensburg. Union Station, Crossroads to Technology. And promotional support for Sports Page is provided by 1450 Cocoa and 98.5 The Bar. 1450 Cocoa and 98.5 The Bar, the radio home of University of Central Missouri Athletics.